Hello everyone, this is K.Parthiv from Team Confluence, and today we have the man who needs no introduction, Dr. Vijendra Chauhan with us. So, Dr. Chauhan is the king of mock UPSC interviews, and he wears his crown with authority in a country where lakhs of dreams crash at this stage of the prestigious exam. So, it's a privilege to have you
Well,
with us, sir.
well, thank you, Parthiv. Thank you to the conference team. Thank you to IIIT-B for having me. And I'm enjoying so far.
So, before we start, sir, have you been to Bangalore before?
I've been to Bangalore a couple of times for personal and professional, both reasons. But this is my first time in IIIT-B.
Yes. And how do you like it?
So far, good. I mean, the only problem I always face is that why do they have airport that far
Yes.
from the city? But then, fine.
So, sir, we would start with what do you think how important it is for colleges like IIIT-B to host talk-based events like Confluence?
Well, it is important. It is important for variety of reasons. See, one is IIIT is or like all other IIITs. I've been to a couple of IIITs. Uh, IIITs are not just specialized technical institutions, but to some extent they are super specialized. I mean, it's not just an engineering; it is a specific branch of engineering, and that creates this apprehension that the students in these institutions, I mean, that nerd type.
Yes.
But the problem is that it is very much likely that they are the person who will look only at a particular domain, and they may not get opportunities and inclination towards looking around. And I think such talks and events give this opportunity to these students to look around, not just about the information technology, not just about technology, but about other stuff also in terms of the socio-political realm and society in general, and things like art and creativity.
So, sir, as you're coming for Confluence, what are your views on the theme of our event, Cadence of Creations, which means the beauty of patterns?
Well, interesting part is that I've been thinking about this idea of the pattern
Yes.
and the beauty of pattern for many, many years. So when I actually came to know, for example, my book, with my not the maiden book, but the second book, it's a title in itself is Bhasha Bhi Ek Fractal Hai. Or anybody who understand a little bit of engineering and pattern understand that when we talk about fractals, we are basically talking about patterns in, and I'm saying the pattern in the language. I mean, the creativity of the language is dependent on the patterns of language. So, I mean, this is something that's been very close to my heart, this idea of looking for patterns in everything beautiful, and actually looking into patterns and finding beauty is something that has always intrigued me. And that's why I find it, I mean, it's absolutely apt to me.
So, so uh, one thing which I would like to ask you, sir, is nowadays the students they are lacking self-discipline and are easily getting addicted to so many things. So, what would be your view on your advice to students to overcome this?
Well, addiction for that matter, I've been always there actually. I mean, I do remember when I was growing up, everybody senior, my parents and people from their generation used to call, I mean, they were really worried about us, saying that we are too much addicted to television. And you can understand, I mean, I'm talking about 80s and early 90s, in fact 80s, where television was seen as an addictive medium that is derailing youth of that time. And now people like me are telling our kids, look at the television. Television at least is a community family thing that all of us are sitting and watching at a single program. So talk of addiction has been there for from times immemorial. So I won't say that whatever our students and you people are watching or consuming is necessarily bad. But then obviously there has to be a discipline. There has to be a discipline in the sense that you cannot binge watch always. You cannot have unlimited consumption of media, because it's not just about losing time, please understand. it also take away your ability to critical think it. And that's been I've been saying through my videos and everywhere that if you're consuming too much of the fast-paced media, which many people are addicted to, and things like that, then you lose your ability to understand your environment and to critically examine that. For the sake of critical thinking, for the sake of critical examination of the environment, one must discipline himself or herself. How to do that? I think there are many ways of doing it, but then it has to start with a resolve. It has to start with the self-discipline. It has to start with self-awareness of the fact that uh, beyond a point, uh, one cannot keep addicted to a single medium. That's the only way. You cannot, but you have to take baby steps. Yes. You cannot actually start from day one and say that I'll just cut it off entirely. That's not possible, and that's not the way. It has. You have to take baby steps. You have to do the incremental changes. Maybe you start. You can start with limiting the time. You can start with. I'm talking about in terms of the social media content only, but it's applicable to other things. You can you can relate it to other things also. But for example, to begin with, you can have that you'll have n number of minutes per day or number of hours per day, and then you can change that what will you will consume. I mean that part is also important. If you're consciously choosing what you're consuming, then it may actually add to your abilities. I've been saying about 3 C's. One is that it has to be your connection thing. See, I mean, you should be part of the things that is allowing you to make meaningful connections that will help you. Second is it has to be a conscious choice. You cannot, you're a IT student, you can understand that you cannot let algorithms decide that what you will consume. It has to be your conscious decision. And that then obviously is a matter of choice that when you watch a particular thing, when you consume a particular thing, you should have conscious reason saying that I made this choice over these available choices. Once you're doing this 3 C's, you'll realize that one, you'll be cutting off of many things which you earlier you were consuming. And second, obviously, you'll be saving a lot of time and attention.
Yes, sir. One more thing, sir. Like I being an IT student myself, so we generally try to stick with our domain itself, the technical background, everything. Do you think is it necessary for students like us to also develop social and political awareness irrespective of our streams?
Well, it depends. What do you want to be? If you want to be a coolie, as see, industrial revolution, which came in the late 19th century, primarily, that was based on coal, right? And coal was being dug by coal miners. But coal miners are not credited with industrial revolution. Industrial revolution is credited to the individuals who were able to see the socio-political economic aspect of that coal. If you're just a IT person, you're a back-end IT person, you know nothing about except codes, you're basically akin to coal miners of that time. You will be fueling the entire revolution, but you will have no say in that revolution. You will not understand that the things you were developing, whether they were tools or they were weapons, you're not able to understand the aspects of it, the ramifications of it, and most importantly, you'll not be able to reap fruits out of it. You'll be just a backend code code writer, or I mean, an IT person. You need to go beyond that. For that, you need to have a wider perspective, which is possible when you are able to understand the societal aspects of it, you're able to understand the political aspects of it, and you're able to understand the economic aspects of it. And for that, you need to have a wider vision. So it depends what you want to be. If you're happy being just a tech coolie, that's fine. Maybe just looking at codes will do. But if you want to see that where these codes are reaching, how these are impacting society and the politics, then you'll realize. For example, I mean, I've been talking about it for many years now, at least last 3-4 years, that if you look carefully, latest buzz is AI. And the assumption that AI is only about codes, it's so misplaced. Even the AI responses, for example, in generative AI, has its own biases. And these biases are coming from the people who actually trained these GPTs or these generative AI models. So if you don't understand the socio-political aspects of it, you'll end up sometime actually enhancing, endorsing, or maybe furthering the biases and the bad politics. So to understand that, you need to understand politics.
Absolutely, sir. And sir, in your opinion, whom can we call an educated person?
Well, Parthiv, education being my discipline, mother discipline, I studied education from the one of the best institutions in this country, the called Central Institute of Education. And my understanding is, education is one that make human being a thinking, which primarily means critical thinking person. So, if your education is uh, just making you flow to go with the flow, is not letting you have the courage to critically examine what you're doing, what is happening around, then you may be a literate person, you may be knowing coding, you may be knowing everything, but you are not an educated person. Educated person is one which has wisdom, and wisdom will require critical thinking.
Got it, sir. Engineering aspirants are getting countless year by year. So, what do you think are the kind of qualities which an engineer should have to survive in this field and also outperform himself?
Well, I think we just discussed about it. My understanding, Parthiv, is that if you're see, you're trained as an engineer, or for that matter, any discipline, and you're not able to place place your domain knowledge into right perspective and then reap fruits out of it, then it's very likely that either you will not able to survive or sustain, or at least you will not able to outshine others. For that, you need to have a broader vision, better perspective that will come with, to begin with, your ability to think creatively. Because most of the times, students fail to understand that just knowing syntax won't work, right? You need to have the understanding of the broad architecture and what particular syntax and why uh, is doing what it is doing in a big program. So if you don't understand the matrix, then you're condemned to be just one cog in the wheel. And even to survive as a one cog in the wheel, you need to be a better cog than others, which again will require you to be a little bit more creative, innovative, and that is important. One thing I would advise to budding engineers is that engineering education, I was trained as an electrical engineer, so I know a little bit of it. Engineers have this problem most of the times of thinking very individual, assuming that thinking is an individual trait. To some extent, it is, but mostly you should be in position to think in tandem with other thinking processes going around, be it of other individuals or be it of other collectives, and then place your idea, your innovativeness, your creativity in this perspective. So my advice will be just broaden your horizon. Just think critically and just think uh, with a vision.
Beautifully explains.